It's ready to go for a new racing season here in St. Pete, and Grosjean launches.
Grosjean with a great jump. That's what you want. Try to get clear of all those animals coming from behind, and it's Pato O'Ward firing up the inside.
Look at Alex Palou down there in the blue and white car, 3 wide through turn 1, Townsend. He's going to try the outside of turn 2. They're filing through side by side. This is where we've seen so many problems and contact already for a McLaren.
I think that's Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist with more damage in the back. The track is total chaos.
Looks like Devlin DiFrancesco airborne. Simon Pagenaud I see in the wall. His teammate Helio Castroneves sideways. Huge accident down the track is blocked. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red flag here.
And Stingray Rob, one of the 4 rookies involved. I think Benjamin Peterson as well. 2 of the 4 in that crash are rookies. That is huge, and that's what can happen on street course racing.
Let's take a look at where it started.
You're going to see Rosenquist, I believe there, that's his teammate, those 2 orange and blue McLarens, and then further back, I'm not even sure this was related.
It looks like maybe, I want to say it was Santino Ferrucci, no, David Malukas, I think. No, Santino Ferrucci, sorry, in the black car, got into the back, oh my goodness, of one of the shank cars.
I think it was Ferrucci and Castroneves that came together further back. Castroneves looks like he got hit from behind and spun.
And you see Devlin DiFrancesco stop, then gets hit by Benjamin Peterson, and that's what launches his car up in the air. I've never seen a hit quite like that. Here's an onboard from Simon Pagenaud.
Crashing. Stay left, go right.
On board, number 20, Connor Daly. Man, was he lucky. What an escape there for Connor Daly.
5 cars officially out of the race. Helio Castroneves, Simon Pagenaud, Devlin DiFrancesco, Santino Ferrucci, and Benjamin Peterson. The field is packed up with Romain Grosjean in the DHL Honda at the head of the field, just like he saw the initial green, with teammate in the Gainbridge Honda, Colton Herta behind. Remember Colton 2 years ago when he dominated this race, led almost every single lap, and then tucked in behind is an anxious and excited Pato O'Ward, who doesn't want to be a championship contender this year. He wants to be a champion this year. Here he is. The young Mexican is ready to pounce on his former teammate back in the Indy Lights days. Green flag flies here in St. Pete. Let's try for the second time. Here we go. The Firestone Grand Prix is underway.
A little bit of oversteered wheel spin from Colton Herta coming off the last corner, so a great jump from Romain Grosjean as they all seem to be pretty much in line. It's Marcus Armstrong looking at the inside of Alexander Rossi, but unable to make the pass.
Armstrong in that green Ganassi car looked to make a move, but tucked in there. Got to be careful on this street paint and airport paint, especially on these opening laps when the tires are still cold. That's David Malukas, I think, with contact to the back of Armstrong. It looks like it flatted the right rear.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it down there. The left front popping up in the air. Probably wing damage to the 18 of David Malukas as well. But now Marcus Armstrong has to just gingerly get that green ridge line number 11 back to the pits to get that change.
It was just a tickle of that right rear, but the end fences are brutally sharp at that kind of speed.
What a shame for the 22-year-old Kiwi. He did really well in qualifying yesterday in his very first IndyCar Series race. He's got to limp a long way back to pit lane to get help from his Ganassi squad.
As look how much Colton Herta has fallen back into the clutches of Pato O'Ward.
I think those early 10 laps under green when Colton was all over the back of Grosjean without a lot of downforce, but with a lot of enthusiasm and aggression, might have fried those alternates, because Grosjean, look at that, 7 seconds ahead of his teammate. Colton Herta's hanging on right now. He might get past.
And these two know each other so well from the road to Indy. Here he comes. Pato O'Ward at turn 10. Up the inside, grabs second place for the first time in this race, and now begins his quest at trying to catch Romain Grosjean, race leader.
The first contender has come in. Colton Herta said the tires have been dropping. He's been falling back, so he gets off the alternate Firestones. He's on the primaries, back out. We'll see other leaders coming in shortly.
That was agonizing for Colton Herta because he just got swamped and went from second to about sixth. His teammate Kyle Kirkwood has dropped. There you go. You can see Joseph Newgarden going by Kirkwood. Kirkwood all sideways in turn 10 in that bright pink AutoNation car.
We got a little help from Rinus VeeKay at corner exit. Kirkwood has gone from the top 5 to 14th in the span of 2 laps. Folks, you are seeing that tire degradation before your eyes as Kirkwood desperately trying to get right and get to pit lane.
It was hard to do with Rinus VeeKay on the inside of him there. Had to let him go so he could dive in. Not what Andretti Autosport wanted to see. Not able to take care of these alternate tires. Kevin Lee.
What a difference a year makes for Kyle Kirkwood. It was a struggle as a rookie last season. He's been quick all weekend in the Firestone Fast 6, but he couldn't make the alternates last quite long enough. This is still in the window. It's a little earlier than you would like, so primary Firestones, shell fuel, Kyle Kirkwood is back out.
And so too Christian Lundgaard in that high V Honda for Rahal Letterman-Lanigan. He gets serviced and sent as well. That's Scott McLaughlin on Alex Palou.
Here
comes the defending race winner.
Here comes Scotty Mack. This is what he's been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting to see. That harder compound tire flexing its authority over the next 2 or 3 laps. It is high time for McLaughlin to make quick times and take advantage of this tire situation.
And Alex Palou's now under attack from his teammate Scott Dixon in that blue and orange PNC bank machine on board now with the Verizon on board of Will Power. He's also on those primaries. He's going to now attack the American Legion Honda of Alex Palou.
Lap 30, I think you got to bring Palou in right now. The moment you're in range to make it on one more stop if you pit now. So I think you've got to bring your driver in if he's struggling. Meanwhile, Grosjean, no trouble at all.
Race leader is in the DHL Honda. What a stint from Romain Grosjean, Kevin Lee. He's led all 31 laps. What a way to start.
And what was the number Hinch said? Get to lap 32, job done. He went 3 or 4 laps longer than his teammate, but it really did start to drop. He lost 3 seconds on McLaughlin on that last lap. So he gets off the alternate Firestones. He's on the primaries, and the Phoenix flashes away.
Here you see the helicopter shot, Hinch. Grosjean on pit lane. O'Ward is on the front straightaway. This could be a little closer than expected. There's the orange and black of O'Ward. How close is it?
Pit lane speed limiter off for the yellow and red DHL Honda, nicely ahead, but he's on cold tires, Townsend. It's going to take at least a lap for those Firestones to come up to temperature.
Overtake.
Pato O'Ward's going to be on the overtake. I was just going to say, on that push to pass, trying to close the gap.
And he hasn't had mirrors full of an opponent for a long time because he left his teammate Colton Herta behind long ago.
But to our point earlier, he's now going to be in the dirty air of Romain Grosjean. So if he doesn't manage to catch up and pass him immediately, he's got to be smart about managing that gap and not wearing these Firestone primaries out too early.
Scott McLaughlin winds up leading 3 laps in that sequence, Townsend. I think they thought they could go a little bit further, but they burned a lot of fuel because they had more clean racetrack than they anticipated. Ran about 5th during that run. Very happy with the car. The alternates going on, as Hinch said, the price being paid now. Will Power at the front of pit road. We'll see both of where these Penske cars cycle out. Look at that merge right there.
That's McLaughlin and Romain Grosjean. Grosjean's going to have to go for the move here on the Dex Imaging Chevrolet. He's up to speed as far as his tires. McLaughlin won't let him through.
Contact.
Oh, Grosjean into the marbles. O'Ward's going to be all over him.
Hot tires versus soft tires. McLaughlin on the alternates, Grosjean on the warm primaries, but now that he's been pushed offline, he will have picked up a bunch of dirt, a bunch of marbles. He's going to be hanging on for the next few corners. It's time for Pato O'Ward to attack.
Do you think that Scott McLaughlin wants to defend his win from a year ago? You betcha. You just saw it there most graphically.
No surprise, Scott Dixon went longest on fuel. He's known for being the best at fuel saving. He is in the pits, Marty, from the lead.
And Mike Hall, his strategist, said, anything you can give me on this last lap, and there's a caution on the racetrack. This will give Dixon a bit of an advantage, putting on those alternate tires, guys, and this might wind up being a caution on the racetrack. Also, Joseph Newgarden coming down pit road, and they nearly collide here on pit road on that exchange.
There's the caution. It's Connor Daly in the Bitnile Chevrolet, turn 9. Here's Kyle Kirkwood in the pink car for Auto Nation on the inside of Connor Daly, tagged the back of the Bitnile Chevy.
Great jump, big wiggle from Scott McLaughlin on the power. Same for Pato O'Ward. He's already defending for Marcus Ericsson. Ericsson saying, no, I'm going to stay on the clean side of the racetrack.
All right, here you go. Defending winner wants to win again, but Romain Grosjean in that yellow and red DHL Honda wants to win for the first time. Alexander Rossi on his old teammate Colton Herta around the outside. You've got it. No, you don't. Herta fights back.
Oh, Colton Herta on the dirty side of the racetrack there, trying to go too wide, further back. You see Rossi, and there's 2 cars side by side.
Big rear lock from Colton Herta. Oh, Rinus VeeKay. We have a car up and over. Kyle Kirkwood's involved. That looks like Jack Harvey as well. Rinus VeeKay in the tires. Huge accident. Yellow flag is out.
That's the second.
You're right.
Second car airborne.
Second fully airborne car. Kyle Kirkwood
the car is not.
cleared a tabletop.
Tons of damage to the 27 Auto Nation Honda for Andretti Autosport. Not what they wanted to see. Both of the flying cars were Andretti Autosport cars, unfortunately, for that organization. Man, that was a big hit.
Check out, look further back down the track.
It's Rossi and Graham Rahal.
So you see Rinus VeeKay, he's got Joseph Newgarden on the inside of him. Joseph Newgarden pulls the move off. Rinus just gets into the dirty part of the racetrack. Jack Harvey absolutely nowhere to go. David Malukas collects a bit of contact as Cal Kirkwood just pole vaults.
Did you see how it slammed down?
Yeah, I mean, that's
My
the thing,
goodness.
Diff. Coming down from this altitude, IndyCars have suspension, but it's not any good coming down from, I mean, that rear end is 7-8 feet in the air, and it's going to come down like a jackhammer. Listen to this.
Oh, you feel it in your back. I mean, there's
I felt it.
No suspension. You know, the floor just hits the concrete.
Kirkwood, how in the world is this car running?
He says, I can't turn left. Well, I'm not surprised. Kevin Lee has more. Kev?
They're trying to. They said, we're going to just come into the pit lane. We're going to change tires to stay on the lead lap. We'll have a good, quick look at everything, and then we're going to send you back out, and then the next time around, assess the damage.
Scott McLaughlin in a Dex Imaging Chevy leads the way over Romain Grosjean. There's the green. Let's go. Turn 1 is a key spot at this track. Dixon has already popped out, trying to get ahead of his teammate.
But it's so dirty offline. Dixon was wiggling in a straight line. He thinks better of it there. Single file for now. Great jump from Scott McLaughlin. It was more Romain Grosjean under pressure from Pato O'Ward.
Looking back, Scott Dixon in that orange and blue PNC car has a run on his teammate Ericsson in the red and white, but Ericsson tries to defend. Dixon having none of that.
And Will Power is looking on. Graham Rahal in the United Rebels car. Great escape.
That was closer than you definitely want. As we ride on board with the United Rentals on board of Graham Rahal. Man, that was nearly Herta did exactly what we saw Rinus VeeKay do down. Oh no, that's past turn 4. That's turn 8.
He said somebody.
I'll bet he got pushed wide and picked up all of that spent rubber. And James, the marbles are just massive. I mean, it's really hard to shake those loose in the next corner. Look at Dixon. Dixon's still racing. The caution's not out yet. There it is.
Caution is out. Colton Herta's going to try to reverse. He's reversed a little bit, but he's got some banners stuck on the car. Look at the damage to that left front. And now here we go, side by side with Will Power. You're right, going through turn 5, they started side by side and made it all the way there.
He didn't start out that way. This is Colton's onboard. Watch how late he decides to try to go around Will Power.
So Will Power, the car on your right in front, gets pushed wide by Marcus Ericsson. He's offline now. Colton Herta trying to take advantage.
Contact. Power left front into Colton's right rear as Colton was forcing the issue on the outside.
That's a tough one.
This is the third Andretti car out of the race.
All right, draw a breath, get ready, hold on tight. We're about to do it again and launch into the second half of this Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Let's go. McLaughlin at the front. The yellow and red DHL Honda is Romain Grosjean. Here comes Pato O'Ward on the inside. Not quite close enough. Dixon's close to O'Ward. Here comes Alex Palou on the inside. All slipping and sliding, but gathers control.
Palou, I thought, was going to get into the back of Alexander Rossi, who's having a good run and good debut run for Arrow McLaren. And here comes Newgarden on the charge.
Newgarden on the charge indeed on Callum Ilott down into turn 4. Push to pass is not active on the first lap after a restart. We also see, I believe that's the high V car, Christian Lundgaard making a move on the black and white HMD car of David Malukas. A lot of action right now on this opening lap.
This is getting spicy here between the two orange cars. That of Pato O'Ward, then Scott Dixon. There they are right there, flashing through on the backstretch up to turn 10.
And Romain Grosjean will very much want to get to the gearbox of Scott McLaughlin and start pressuring him. Try to force him to use that softer tire up. I think it's going to be tough.
That's exactly right, Townsend. That's what he's got to do right now, but we looked at the pace that that Grosjean had when the situation was reversed. I expect Scott McLaughlin to sort of pull up, open up a gap, and then focus on taking care of those tires, which again, he does not have to take that much further. He only really needs another, what, 10, 15 laps?
Watch the number 9 of Scott Dixon, the orange and blue PNC car as they come out of turn 3. Dixon, the next car back on the alternate tire. They should be pretty fresh and grippy, so look for Dixon to try to make something happen on Pato O'Ward over the next couple laps. Now the question is, who's going to flinch first? It's Alex Palou. He's going to put the cars in front now in the danger zone here, and on a street course where we've seen tons of chaos. If you're Scott McLaughlin and the Thirsty Threes, you got to think about coming in now, Marty.
Yeah, nice move by this team to come in right now, bringing them down pit road. The team they finished second here last year, Alex Palou, felt like the car has been pretty quick. They're going to go to the primary tires here. He's been happy with it, but stuck in traffic. But Townsend, you are right, 35 to go. They can go as hard as they want to in the 10 car. That's got to make the 3 car. Scott McLaughlin and Team Penske think about coming to pit road sooner rather than later.
Palou is fired up. He told me the other day, I want another championship, and I want it to be this year. He said, I want you to say hello Palou again on the TV. So I want to win again.
If McLaughlin pits here, what does Grosjean do? Does he cover or does he stay out? We're about to find out.
You got to stay out. Try to get a couple clear laps is a bit of a risk because, again, the yellow completely hoses. Dixon now dives into the pits. This is Ganassi potentially making a race-winning strategy call here by blinking first, and it's definitely going to force other drivers to make this call sooner than they wanted to, Marty.
Yeah, Hinch, you got to love this call by Team Ganassi, right? Chip Ganassi Racing. They're making a move to say, hey, if we do what everybody else does, we're not going to win the race. Scott Dixon sitting in fourth has been very happy with the car. Going to put the primaries on, get those alternates off, and Dixon will head back out. But yeah, I see a lot more activity in the leader's pit down here.
So where does Dixon blend out with his teammate Alex Palou? We'll be watching for that as well. The 9 and 10 running pretty close together as the battle up front continues. There's Palou.
Dixon's already by. He's comfortably ahead already down the back straight. There he is battling now with Callum Ilott, I believe.
You got to bring Scotty Mack, I think, at this point. It's too risky. He stays out.
He's just doing so well. He's keeping them back there.
If somebody wrecks right now, somebody stalls in a runoff and a yellow
cars are at the front.
You're going to see Scott Dixon win his first race at St. Pete.
Yeah, say what? That's crazy.
Another leader, Alexander Rossi in the McLaren is in, Kevin.
And these yellows worked out perfectly for Rossi. That was his alternate stint, and he was able to make up ground. He's running in the top 5. He's got primaries the rest of the way to go. He doesn't have any concerns on fuel.
Now Joseph Newgarden is in, and Pato O'Ward. Marty's standing by. They're coming your way.
It's been a terrific race for Pato O'Ward, running in the top 3 all day long. He told me earlier this weekend, Diff, we want to show we can compete with Ganassi and Team Penske, not once in a while, on a weekly basis. They have shown that today for sure. Joseph Newgarden also coming in. He said these primaries will certainly help. 31 to go, and no movement from his Team Penske teammate, Scott McLaughlin, so far, who's still out front.
This is a great drive from Scott McLaughlin, doing exactly what he has to do. He's about to come up on a lap car. Canapino.
And this now adds the further
Here
risk
we go, guys.
that McLaughlin's going to get slowed up potentially by Canapino, allowing Scott Dixon to close. What does McLaughlin do? He stays out. Here comes Grosjean.
Force the 28 crew to blink first. This is fascinating.
Kevin Lee standing by. Kevo.
Last year, Romain Grosjean said there were just too many mistakes within the team. They've really worked on the details, and he really thought a second year in the program with his engineer, Olivier Bosson, would help. Primaries to primaries, another set of Firestones. Romain Grosjean has been second 3 times in IndyCar. Desperately wants that win. He's back out after his last stop of the day.
There's Dixon on the right-hand side of your screen. And O'Ward coming down the front straight. Watch this.
I think Grosjean's going to clear him. They're just getting into turn 1. Grosjean's got a clean shot out now, but again, Pato O'Ward, warm tires. Romain Grosjean's going to have to get in with. That's Marcus Ericsson, I think, leaving the pit lane as well.
Yeah, but you got Stingray Robb in a wounded race car, a lap down in front of Grosjean. Here comes O'Ward, and McLaughlin is in traffic, and watch the gap of McLaughlin to O'Ward. It's at 28 seconds. Boy, you better get to pit lane, Scotty Mack, if you want to win this thing.
That was a killer for Scott McLaughlin, being stuck behind that car for the entire lap, but now he is in. It is all about that out lap from Romain Grosjean. The pressure's on the Thirsty Threes.
Grosjean is over into turn 10. We'll monitor this. pressure's on, Marty Snyder.
Kyle Moyer told him everything you've got on this lap, ever take everything. Just go as quick as you can. But that traffic, Hinch, could be a huge factor for Scott McLaughlin. The delta on pit road, the time you lose on pit road is 27 seconds. You mentioned that 28-second gap. It's going to be a battle not only between him and Grosjean, but also Award. Let's watch the blitz.
There's Grosjean. Turn one. Look at the yellow car. There's McLaughlin on the right. They're at speed. They may come together. Whoa! McLaughlin holds the lead.
But there's no way I think he'll be able to hold them off on cold tires. Grosjean goes to the outside on hot tires and on the preferred line.
Is it possible? No, it's not.
Contact.
It ends in both of them crashing.
And Award goes through. Pato Award to the front.
Can you believe what you've just seen here in St. Pete? The top two in this race are into the tire barrier, neither willing to relinquish that top spot. Oh my goodness.
That is two drivers just wanting to win a motor race. That is what happens. Passion gets involved. Look at the disappointment. Both of them having such a strong day. Devastating result. Dead heat coming out of the pits. Advantage to Romain Grosjean on the hot tires. Scott does the right thing to defend all the way down and just goes so late on the brakes. Loses the back end, Townsend. We didn't see that the first time around. Rear lock, fires him into the 28. No fault to Romain Grosjean there, and just look at the frustration.
That was the day that Grosjean was hoping was going to be the day where he could be called an IndyCar race winner. And neither wanted to give ground, neither wanted to yield.
If Grosjean makes it through that corner, he's winning the race.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hard to claim anything else. Here's on board for Grosjean. Look at how close it was. Having to get on the brakes through turn 3. He knew he was in the catbird seat. And he gave him room. He gave him room. It's just Scott McLaughlin's rear brakes locked up. Here we go. This is the onboard I want to see. You hear the engine start to go quiet, the left hand go down in correction. Scott, you see that correction. McLaughlin knows if he can hold him off through turn 4, he's got a good shot at maintaining that position. So it was everything right there. That was the move for the race win in both of their minds.
And it came down to a simple game of chicken. Who's going to break first? Who's going to give an inch? And the answer, nobody.
Neither. Pato O'Ward of Arrow McLaren leads this field, leads Ericsson, Dixon and his new teammate Alexander Rossi into turn 1.
Top 5 are spread out, but it was all kinds of confusion at the back as somebody got really squirrely off the final corner and stacked up positions 5 through 12.
McLaren, Ganassi, McLaren, Juncos, Hollinger. That's Callum Eilert right there in the green and black car, running in the 5th position. Great drive so far from him. We see Will Power here hunting down Christian Lundgaard, but now Marcus Ericsson has his mirrors full of the blue and orange PNC Bank machine of teammate Scott Dixon.
Did Newgarden get shuffled back there on that restart? Did he get swamped on that restart maybe? Because he seemed to lose several positions.
Somebody got really crossed up in the final corner coming to green. It could have been Newgarden. Let's take a look here. There you see Award,
yeah,
Ericsson, Dixon. I think Pelot got wide and Newgarden kind of followed him wide. Maybe they locked up.
Newgarden was kind of already on the outside edge of Pelot's car, and that's just kind of pushed him into the marbles there. We've talked about that, how hard it is to get the grip back when you've driven offline, but now Pelot in the American Legion car, blue and white, attacking the number 77 of Callum Eilert right in his wheel tracks.
What an opening lap from Pato O'Ward. He's put 2.5 seconds on Marcus Ericsson.
It's about to get a little more interesting because up ahead of Pato O'Ward's Connor Daly, who's stuck behind Stingray Robb right now. Stingray Robb is about 2 seconds a lap slower that last lap than the leaders. So we could get to lap traffic factoring into this before this is over.
The one thing to remember, Connor Daly is a lap down to the entire field at this point, which means when the leader Pato O'Ward catches up to him, he will be given the command blue flag and have to move over. If he was just at the tail of the lead lap, it wouldn't be the problem. The problem for Joseph Newgarden,
big
huge fire on the left rear of
Got
that
fire
car.
on the left side there. Fire in the left side there. Just smoke, fire.
Go straight, Joseph. There's a fire truck right there. He's going to try to get it back around to pit lane. That's a serious amount of flame.
Oh yeah, on the Hitachi Chevy, that is not a great sign for a good comeback drive for Joseph Newgarden today. Pit this lap is the call.
Gotta think some oil is going to be on the track over there in the final corner. O'Ward needs to be careful here.
He needs to be careful because Marcus Ericsson and that Husky Chocolates machine is absolutely hunting him still. He's getting closer, guys.
4.5 laps to go, Hinch. Not done yet. Pato O'Ward could win at St. Peter.
Oh, guys, problem.
Is something wrong with him? Ericsson to the lead.
He had a huge slide coming off the corner, and he must have had a misshift. Maybe there was an overboost. That's an engine situation that temporarily limits power, and the lead now has gone to Marcus Ericsson.
Did you see him smash the steering wheel inside the cockpit? O'Ward furious.
Now Scott Dixon up on the wheel. He knows something happened there to the number 5 of Pato O'Ward. This is Dixon's opportunity to get to second, but boy, that's gotta sound painful to Dixon. Second again if he gets by.
That's such a bizarre thing that happened. I saw a big wheel spin moment. Just watch, you see the orange car, Pato O'Ward in the middle of the top of your screen there. He comes off, he gets a little sideways right there. You see that wiggle, and then it's almost, I wonder if when he corrected, he hit the pit lane speed limit button.
Or did he grab an upshift with the correction?
Let's listen. It's pit lane speed limit. I'm almost sure of it. As he went to correct the oversteer, he hit the pit lane speed limit button, and it immediately stopped the engine.
I heard a lot of chunking, almost like it was a gearbox situation.
You think so? I just told him on the radio it was a plenum event. Can you unpack that for us?
Overboost.
I can, yes. So this is something that happens in the air intake of the engine. It's a mixture of fuel and air that ignites and creates a temporary explosion. When you have a small explosion, that sucks all the oxygen out of the intake. The engine is starved and it's not able to produce power. It does happen, especially in these humid conditions. These engines are running on the ragged edge. It's so tough to get them to run flawlessly, and just a small little issue there cost Pato O'Ward the lead of the race with 2 laps to go.
Marcus Ericsson leads the way. In the illustrious history of Chip Ganassi Racing, they have come up short here. In 19 previous races, the team has only won once, and that was thanks to the legend Dario Franchitti way back in 2011. Can Marcus Ericsson, the Indy 500 winner of a year ago, guide Chip's team to victory here in Florida?
He got his first NTT IndyCar Series win on the streets of Detroit. He backed it up later that year, 2021, with a victory on the streets of Nashville. Of course, he is your 2022 Indy 500 champion, but now looking to take his 4th series win on the streets again, this time in St. Pete.
And on a chaotic day by the water with the boats in view, it's been a steady hand on the tiller for Ericsson. Captain-like performance.
Well, he drove like we have never seen him drive to win the Indianapolis 500 last May. And now Marcus Ericsson in the Husky Chocolate Honda is a winner again, but this time on the streets of St. Petersburg. Delivers Chip Ganassi the first victory of a new season in the most eventful race.
Yes! Good job. Great job. Thank you. Thank you.
And those fanatical Swedish Marcus Ericsson supporters who are here are going to be going wild.
Well, what was your thought, Marcus, when you saw the 5 have the issue? I knew you were catching him, but what was your thought when you saw him have that issue off that final corner with 2 to go?
It's our day, I think. That was my thought. Obviously, that's racing. You know, I feel bad for Pato for having an issue, but that's racing. You need to get there to the finish line, and we were having such a good weekend. The car was fantastic all the way through, and we were hunting him down, putting the pressure on, and you know, that when things happen. So really proud of the Husky Chocolate team and Chip Ganassi Racing. That was a hell of a start to the season.
What'd you tell me Friday? People forget we had a top 3 car here last year. You had that penalty, you had to serve it, drove back through the field. Is this vindication a little bit?
It is, and I think people forget us in some conversations as well, you know, when they talk about the championship. We're here to win. We won the 500 last year. We were leading the championship for a long time. That's our mission this year, so this is a good start to it.
Yeah, you like flying below the radar. I don't think you're going to be able to fly below the radar much longer.
I don't mind that. That's all right. Bring it on.
Watch the PPG 375 Sunday, April 2nd at noon on NBC.